traffic, helicopter 200 Hotel is departing the pattern to the west, 1,300, Warren County.
Warren County traffic, 2 Foxtrot Novembers, departing runway 1, continuing the pattern, Warren County.
Traffic, helicopter 200 Hotel, 5 miles to the east, 1,700, will be flying over midfield for westbound transition, Middletown traffic. Today is March 15th. Makes me think about to high school when we had to read and watch Julius Caesar, the infamous Ides of March. It's the date they assassinated Julius Caesar. Winds when I took off at AWAS, Warren County, were 16 knots, gusting 22, so. I was going to bring a passenger up today, but as you can see, getting kicked around a little bit by the wind. Middletown traffic, helicopter 200 Hotel, 2 miles to the east, be flying over midfield, 1,600, Middletown traffic. There's advantages and disadvantages to flying on a clear and pretty day like this. Obvious advantages, I mean, visibility is like excellent. It's a little bit hazy towards the horizon, but I mean, you're probably really not going to get much better than this. Middletown traffic, helicopter 20 Echo Tower, 2 miles to the southeast. Will be flying midfield 1,600, Middletown traffic. There's some huge antennas around here. For the most part, as a helicopter pilot, we stay down low, trying to keep out of the way of the fast movers, airplanes. And typically, like a small Cessna would cruise at like 2,000 feet or above. And there's east-west rules, so for example, if you're flying westbound, you would fly an odd number, so say like 3,500. Whereas if you're flying on an easterly heading, you would fly at say 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet. And ideally, if everyone follows this east, it'll deconflict east and westbound traffic. Middletown traffic, helicopter 200 Echo Hotel is a half mile to the southeast of the field. Will be flying over midfield 1,600. Middletown traffic. The last time I went up here, they have skydivers, parachutists coming down out there in the middle of the airport. My last cross country to Richmond, somebody came on the radio and requested that I not fly over midfield. With the winds being kind of strong today, 16 gusty and 22, that's not a good day for parachuting. I guess you could do it, but it'd be pretty dangerous on your landing. You could get seriously hurt on your landing, or maybe make an okay landing, but then get dragged halfway across the airport and get a broken neck from getting your head slammed into the ground. Middletown traffic, helicopter 200 Echo Tower, flying over midfield 1,600, transitioning northwest. Middletown traffic. This is a nice little airport to an extent, but man, over there at the very end of the runway, they have some kind of cesspool looking thing with nasty water. I don't know if there's like sludge from the steel plant just south of here, or actually looks like a water treatment plant. So I guess if the airplane pilot botched his landing and went long and couldn't do a go around, couldn't get the thing stopped, he's going to go sliding off the end of the runway into that white, green, nasty sludge water, whatever that is. Alright, let me look up next frequency I'm going to need. Preset my radio. Alright, Richmond AWAS is 121.225. Radio doesn't let you put the last number in. I never did really like that or completely understand.
That's 580 entering downwind 23 Middletown.
hear that guy. Thing is, with some of these uncontrolled airports, Middletown's 123.00. And if you look at a sectional map, there's a whole bunch of airports with 123.00. And considering altitudes, airplanes, helicopters fly, you'd be amazed at how far away you can hear somebody talking. Of course, they're an aircraft, they're in the air. You're in an aircraft, you know. Like I said, I usually cruise at like 1,500 or a little bit lower in the helicopter, just to try to stay out of the way of fixed wing pilots. Believe it or not, not every Cessna pilot is as proficient or professional as they should be. And they're flying along fat, dumb, and happy, not looking for you. And there's times you have to take evasive actions to keep from having a mid-air collision. Alright, I'm getting a little bit off course here. Looks like I need to be following about a 330-degree azimuth. Interesting thing too, like as you fly west, say you remain at a constant 1,500, you actually notice that your AGL, your above ground level, is getting less and less. And that's not an optical illusion, it's because the further west you go, the higher the terrain rises. You go all the way out to Colorado and standing on the ground, you're at like 5,000 feet.
51580, crosswind runway 23.
The thing is, I mean, as a pilot, whether you're flying a small single-engine airplane,
Middletown traffic,
or you're flying a helicopter, on a windy day like this, you're going to kind of get bumped around a little bit. And people who aren't used to flying, it's going to scare them a little bit. You have to realize that flying an aircraft is more like navigating a boat, not like driving a car, pickup truck on the ground. At least on the ground, if you hit a pothole, you can see the pothole coming. So yeah, you get something similar to turbulence on the ground, but the thing is you can see it. Well, on the air molecules are invisible. Unless you introduce smoke or fog or steam or something. But people have the tendency to get scared, nervous, like there's a helicopter kicks around a little bit, or you get a little turbulence. For a pilot, you've been flying for 300-400 hours, you're used to it, it's normal. But again, it may or may not scare a first-time passenger. So I try to be a good ambassador for aviation and flying, so I'm going to take somebody up. I try to pick a nice day where winds aren't too excessively strong, at least not gusting. The thing is, you take somebody up who's never flown before, or they already tell you they're a white knuckle flyer to begin with, and you keep it as smooth as you can. But if it's a turbulent flight and say the helicopter's kind of really getting kicked around, then trying to tune in their AWAS there. See what the specific winds are going up that way. Right now, I'm going to guess probably runway 33 would be my best bet, considering the winds have typically been out of the west for the most part today. And I'm not picking them up yet. I can't remember. There was one of these airports I flew to up here in Indiana, and their AWAS wasn't working. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my secondary channel to 122.7. Yeah, kind of a funny story. Last time I flew up to Richmond, I had brought my remote control from my GoPro camera, which you wear like a little lanyard around your neck, and I forgot. This is a portable GPS receiver right here, Bad Elf Pro, and that works in tandem with your iPad Mini. Turning your iPad Mini into a moving GPS map full of like airport data and all kinds of good information. It's an amazing tool, but the iPad Mini that I have here is 2 years old, and it doesn't have any of the built-in navigational GPS stuff. I've heard the newer ones, you may get away with using the GPS feature for ForeFlight without having a remote GPS receiver like this. I mean, it definitely works on the ground. And considering that in the helicopter you usually fly at lower altitudes, 1,500 or below, it probably would have worked. But that particular day, after I took off, after I turned crosswind, I cross-referenced my moving map and realized that it wasn't indicating, didn't show the little helicopter icon. And all of a sudden it dawned on me I had forgotten my GPS receiver here. So I made the command decision to go ahead and continue with the cross-country flight. And I think I flew about a 330 degree azimuth. And I was going to, if I didn't make it to the airport within my estimated time, I would have basically just turned around and flew on an opposing heading of about, I guess about 150 degrees. But, you know, I made it to the airport okay, everything went fine. And I think in aviation today that can be kind of a detrimental thing. Pilots become lazy, dependent on technology. And, I mean, old school, oh, this thing's really wanting to climb. You get a low density altitude like this on a day with strong winds. I'm pretty lightweight, I don't have any passengers. I should say the helicopter's lightweight. I was 190 pounds this morning. Anyway, on this YouTube guided tour of this short little cross-country flight,